Hello and welcome to our channel. We are delighted to have you with us and look forward to exploring interesting and valuable topics together that will help us all improve our lives on all levels. In today's episode, we'll be tackling a topic that was requested by one of our channel subscribers, entitled Jealousy: What it is and how to treat it. By the end of the presentation, you will have an understanding of what exactly jealousy is and how it affects our relationships and our daily lives. You will have learned the causes behind the emotion of jealousy and how it can affect our self-esteem. You will understand how jealousy can disrupt our personal relationships and affect our mental well-being. You will be able to recognize the signs of jealousy within yourself and manage this emotion in a healthy and constructive way. You will be able to implement practical strategies to reduce the impact of jealousy in your daily life and strengthen your relationships with others. So come explore this topic with me and find ways to manage it so that we can live stronger and happier lives. Jealous nature. Understanding emotion. Jealousy is an emotion we have all experienced at some point in our lives. It is natural to feel jealous, as it is one of the most human and natural emotions. However, the important thing is to understand its essence and how it affects our lives. Jealousy is usually born from the feeling that we are missing something or that someone else has something that we desire. This feeling may come from a need for validation or from the fear of losing a loved one or an important part of our lives. It can be a natural reaction to comparisons we make with others, or even an expression of insecurity stemming from our own self-esteem. Although jealousy is an emotion that can be protective, as it motivates us to seek more self-improvement or take care of our relationships, it can also be toxic if we don't recognize and manage it properly. When jealousy is not controlled, it can affect our self-esteem and our relationships with others. We then perceive our lives through the need to constantly compare ourselves to others and conquer what they have. However, this approach can take us away from appreciating what we already have and cause tension, frustration, and even isolation. Understanding and accepting jealousy is the first step to managing it properly. By acknowledging this emotion within ourselves, we can deal with it in a healthy way and strengthen our self-esteem. Trying to avoid or suppress jealousy may be impossible, but recognizing it and trying to understand its causes can help us turn it into a useful tool for personal growth. Jealousy can be a bell that alerts us to how we feel inside and what we need to examine or change in our lives. When we accept it as part of human nature, it is easier to explain and find ways to deal with it. Practice technique. A useful technique to manage jealousy is gratitude for what you have. Whenever you feel jealous of something or someone, take some time to think about and write down everything you are grateful for. This can include your relationships, your skills, the small joys of everyday life, or any other element of your life that fills you with positive emotions. Focusing on the positive side of your life can reduce the power of envy and strengthen your self-esteem. Recognizing the psychological underpinnings of jealousy. Jealousy is a complex emotion that can arise from a variety of psychological needs and concerns. When we experience jealousy, there is usually a psychological underpinning that triggers it. One of the most common underpinnings of jealousy is insecurity about our worth or acceptance by others. When we don't feel good enough about ourselves or our abilities, comparing ourselves to others can trigger intense feelings of jealousy. People who feel that they are not of the same status or value as those around them may experience jealousy as a reaction to this sense of inadequacy. In addition, lack of trust can be another psychological factor that reinforces jealousy. When we do not trust others or ourselves, we are more prone to feeling jealous because we seek certainty and security through comparison and validation. Jealousy can also arise from fear of loss or competition. When we feel that someone else is threatening our position or relationships, jealousy can become a defense to protect what we consider valuable. Often jealousy is also linked to the social context in which we live. In a world where the successes of others are constantly projected and compared to our own, jealousy can be a natural result of the constant pressure we feel to reach or surpass those around us. It is important to understand that jealousy may simply be a reflection of the human need for validation and acceptance. By understanding the psychological underpinnings of jealousy, we can begin to recognize its signs and learn how to manage it more consciously. Recognizing the root causes of our jealousy can help us to accept it and use it for personal growth and improvement, rather than letting it negatively affect our lives and relationships. Practice technique. This time, to identify the roots of jealousy, try a self-analysis technique. Whenever you feel jealous, sit for a moment and write down your thoughts and feelings in a journal. Examine what exactly causes the jealousy and what psychological needs or fears lie behind this feeling. If you recognize your concern about acceptance or insecurity, try to refer to positive affirmations for yourself. How jealousy hurts relationships. The danger of comparison jealousy, when not handled properly, can destroy relationships and cause emotional distance between people. One of the main causes of this damage is the tendency to compare. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, either on a personal level or in our relationships, we create a sense of insecurity and doubt, which ultimately damages the relationship. Constantly comparing ourselves to other people, whether on a professional or personal level, causes distrust and insecurity, which leads to feelings of jealousy. In many relationships, whether friendly or romantic, jealousy arises when a person feels that someone else is threatening their place in their partner's heart or life. This sense of threat can be born out of a need for more attention or validation, while also being reinforced by external comparisons to other people or social norms. When these comparisons become constant and uncontrollable, trust and communication begin to be undermined. The danger of comparison is that it can create a vicious spiral of negative emotions, where one partner or friend constantly feels the need to prove their worth to the other. When jealousy invades a relationship, it usually causes tension and uncertainty. The person feeling jealous may try to control or limit the other person, creating unconscious pressures and emotional distance. Also, jealousy may be expressed as excessive criticism or a demand for more attention, which causes the other person to become frustrated and distant. Constant comparison with others, and the jealousy that results from it, prevents the development of a healthy relationship based on trust and mutual respect. Recognizing and understanding this issue is the first step to stopping this cycle. When we understand how jealousy destroys the dynamics of the relationship, we can take responsibility for our feelings and work to strengthen communication and trust with the other person. Practice technique. To reduce the jealousy that results from comparing yourself to others, create a daily list of positive attributes and successes of yourself. When you begin to feel jealous, refer back to this list and focus on your own strengths and advances. Boost your self-esteem, and remember that each person has their own unique path and value. Jealousy and the self. The need for self-esteem jealousy, however intense, often reveals a deeper need we have as humans. The need for self-esteem and acceptance. When we feel jealousy, whether toward others or even toward our partner or a friend, the emotion actually reveals a sense of insecurity or doubt about our worth. Jealousy is, in essence, a reflection of the way we see ourselves. When we have a healthy view of ourselves and are aware of our potential and positive attributes, we are less likely to feel jealous. Jealousy often develops when we believe that we are not enough, or that we are not worth what we should be. We compare ourselves to others and believe that what these people have or achieve is better than what we have. This comparison fuels jealousy and makes us wonder why we can't achieve the same results. However, the problem is not in others, but in the way we see ourselves. If we don't acknowledge and work on our self-esteem, jealousy will continue to haunt us and undermine our emotional well-being. Our sense of self-esteem is the foundation upon which we build healthy relationships and emotional well-being. When we feel good about ourselves, jealousy loses its power. We perceive our lives and relationships in a calmer and stronger way, and we can accept the success of others without feeling that it comes at our expense. Jealousy is a natural human emotion that can become a force for personal growth if we use it as a bellwether to acknowledge our own insecurities. If we begin to focus on enhancing our self-esteem and loving ourselves, jealousy will begin to recede, enabling us to feel true happiness and fulfillment. Practice technique. An effective exercise to boost your self-esteem is to create a daily self-esteem practice. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 positive statements about yourself. These can be about successes, abilities, or even personal characteristics you love. By repeating this exercise, you will begin to focus on your strengths and build a healthy sense of worth, thus reducing the influence of jealousy. Jealousy management. Strategies for healthy relationships. Jealousy can be one of the most destructive emotions in human relationships. However, when properly recognized and managed, it can become an opportunity for personal growth and for strengthening our relationships. Proper management of jealousy requires self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and communication. When we feel jealousy, it is important to understand that it is not the other person who is causing this feeling, but our own thoughts and doubts about our own worth. The first step to effectively managing jealousy is to accept the emotion without judgment. Jealousy, like any other emotion, is normal and human. However, it is important not to let it control our reactions. When we admit that we feel jealousy, we can look for the causes behind the emotion. Many times, jealousy arises from insecurity and lack of self-esteem. If we understand this cause, we can work on our personal insecurities and reduce the intensity of jealousy. Communication is also vital. If jealousy has arisen in a relationship, it is important to express our feelings honestly and without blame. Instead of judging the other person or blaming them for our feelings, we can talk about how we feel and seek solutions together. This approach fosters connection and cooperation in the relationship, allowing for a healthier dynamic to develop. In addition, to avoid comparisons that reinforce jealousy, it is important to focus on our own strengths and accomplishments. Self-esteem plays a key role in balancing jealousy. When we feel good about ourselves and accept our unique abilities, comparisons to others lose their importance. In addition, we can use jealousy as an opportunity for self-improvement. Instead of focusing on jealousy over the accomplishments of others, we can use it to set goals and develop our own abilities and perspectives. In this way, jealousy is transformed from a negative emotion into a driving force for personal progress. Practice technique. A useful exercise to manage jealousy is the practice of reflection.